Hey Avery, Big Brother Spoilers from Instagram here. How you feeling this morning?
Feeling good. How are you, Josh?
Good. So you left Kayla a goodbye message saying one of the two Big Brother rules is to never turn your back on your own alliance. Yet that is exactly what you did to Kayla, and now you're sitting here. So why did you not follow the rule?
Yes. So when it comes to those two rules, I have to say that, don't turn your back on your own alliance. But when it comes down to the nitty gritty, I thought that Kayla was turning her back on me. So I went with my gut and I tried to take the shot first. And I think that in the end, it bit me in the ass. Here I am on my way to the jury house. But at the end of the day, I really did think I played a really good game. And that's why I got voted out of the house. People were scared of me. So yeah, at the end of the day, I do really regret putting Kayla up there. But as the HOH, you can put people up there. You don't vote them out. The other house guests do. So yeah, that's that's all I got.
Why did you not give Kayla a heads up before the POV ceremony that she was going on the block?
I knew that if I gave Kayla, a quick little heads up that she would be going on the block, that she would try to convince me not to put her up. Looking back, I really wish that I would have, taken the time to talk to her, but I really put my trust in the other hot chocolates that they were telling me information that was true. We had a really good thing going there. And if they were telling me something bad about someone that I was really working close with, I really put my trust into them and believed that they were telling me the truth. So I wanted to keep it under wraps. At the end of the day, I wish I would have, pulled Kayla aside and had a chat with her, but I'm trying not to look back. I'm trying to, keep moving forward. It's all done now. So like I said, I wish I would have pulled her aside for a chat beforehand.
You had multiple opportunities to take Tola out of the game. Being that he's the one who took you out, you regret not getting rid of him.
Yeah, 100%. Tola's a really good player. I always think that keeping a big player in the house is good for a shield, but the week that Kayla left, I had an opportunity to put a pawn up there so that Tola would leave. And, I went with the option that felt like it was right for me. And looking back, I wish that I would have put a pawn up there to send him out of the house. But yeah, that just goes to show that Tola's a good player. I made a mistake, but at the end of the day, I'm still proud of the game that I played.
You also targeted your close friend Matthew on your HOH. Was this more of a move for Hot Chocolate or for your individual game?
Yeah, I feel like I put Matthew up there. It was a move for Hot Chocolate for sure, but at the end of the day, it was a move for me. Matthew was a really good social player. He had everybody wrapped around his finger. Everybody loved the guy. He was the happy-go-lucky guy in the house, super positive. Everybody wanted him around because of that. And I feel like I put him up there because I knew that if it got down to, fewer and fewer people, eventually he would have to take a shot at me. So I took a shot at him first. I put him up on that block knowing that there was a huge possibility that he would go home. Like I said, as HOH, you can put people up there, and at the end of the day, it's up to the house for them to decide who they want to sit home. So I put him up there knowing that there was a risk that he would go home. And yeah, he ended up walking out those doors.
Was Hot Chocolate ever the group you wanted to go to the Final Five with?
Yeah, I really hoped that Hot Chocolate would have been Final Five. Hearing that information about Kayla really did hurt my heart. Looking back, I don't know if that information was true. It makes me really question the loyalty that I put and trust that I put in other people when it came to Hot Chocolate. But near the end, I really wanted to see top of the key in that final three. Bailey and Spicy were the two people in that house that I trusted the most. I kind of, swayed my trust near the end because I knew that Spicy and Bailey both had my back 100%. But when it came down to Anthony and Lexus, I really could not trust them as much as I could in the first few weeks.
Something that you mentioned in your preseason bio was that you would have thrown comps to take the target off your back. Were you throwing comps at any point in the game?
100%. The first comp I threw, I did not want to be seen as a good competitor right off the bat. That first comp I threw 100%. The down the rabbit hole, that was one that I really tried in. I was up on the block next to Janine. I know that people were telling me to throw that, but when you're on the block and there's a chance that you might go home, you have to gun for those competitions to ensure your safety. But besides that, every other comp, I really busted my butt to win. Comp Beast Boot Camp, I was right behind Dennis. I was maybe 2 seconds behind him. Totally could have pulled a win out there, but in the end, everything happens for a reason. Dennis was supposed to win that, put a bigger target on his back so that he would leave the house first. I know why I didn't win that game now. It was because, Dennis needed to put a bigger target on his back. Everything happens for a reason. I'm here for a reason. I'm still proud of myself, and I played a good game.
You said your favorite player going to the house was Spicy V, so how surreal was it to see her walk into the house and you became her very close friend and ally?
It was like I'm still picturing the moment. I'm on my pitfall rope, and seeing Spicy walk into the house was absolutely surreal. Like I've said, she's my favorite player. Playing alongside her, it was truly an honor. She went into the house and played her authentic self. That's all I wanted to do. I didn't want to be the next anybody. I wanted to be the first me. That first night when Spicy, asked if she wanted to work with me, I asked if she wanted to work with me as well. It was amazing seeing that she had my back all the way to the end, and I know we're going to be friends for a really long time.
On night one, you mentioned how the vets had already had their chance and agreed to work with the others to vote them out. However, you were closely aligned with both of them, so what changed?
I think the thing that changed was, getting to know Spicy a little bit more. I knew that, as soon as she walked through those doors, anything that I said about the vets was completely out the window. I wanted to work with her. I know that in her season, she tried to, form a couple close alliances and it didn't work out. People kept turning on her. And I knew that if she had someone in the house that she could trust, someone that she could count on, that she would be loyal to them. And I knew that I was going to be loyal to her. I know that we said that we were going to try to get, the vets out. They've had their chance. They didn't win. But at the end of the day, I knew that I wanted to work with Spicy. So I did have to throw that out the window. I knew it would be a really cool opportunity to work alongside a vet, get that advice as you're going along. And I think it worked out pretty well. I made it to jury, and that's something to be proud of.
At one point, you were confident you were staying, so when did you know that you were going to be evicted last night?
I think the moment that I knew I was going to be evicted was the morning of the live eviction. People were acting a little weird towards me. I wasn't, people weren't talking to me. I wasn't being looked at. And I kind of, made my rounds. I talked to a couple people, and they told me where their votes were going. And I knew that evening when I was sitting in the chair that I was going home. I even told Spicy beforehand, because she was going to vote for me to stay 100%. I told her that if she didn't want to keep me, to keep her game safe, to keep our alliance under wraps, that she didn't have to. And I knew that she would respect that. But she still gave me that vote. She still had my back all the way to the end. And that's something I have to be thankful for.
So moving on to talk about the remaining players, we're going to do a word association here to describe the remaining house guest game. So I'll say someone's name, and you can say the first word, a couple words that pop, and try to describe their game. So we'll start off with Anthony.
Smooth talker. I will say Anthony's social game is very, very smooth. He still hasn't touched the block. He never touched the block in his season, and he's playing a great, 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 great social game. Smooth talker for sure.
Bailey.
Bailey's. Ooh, so when it comes to Bailey's game, I would say she's playing a very energetic, authentic game. She is 100% wholeheartedly herself in that game, in that house. I know that she's the same person inside the house as she will be outside of the house. She's playing a truly authentic game.
Lexus.
Lexus is the silent killer. I feel like she is playing a very sneaky, under the grass kind of game. She won that first competition, Pitfall, to ensure her safety. I have to give her props there. She has a POV under her belt. And she actually told me before I left the house, we had a conversation on the green chair. She told me that she's been laying low on certain competitions. So that lets me believe that she has the capability of winning competitions. She might make it to final 3. I have to respect that if she does.
Todd.
Todd is hold on, let me think of a funny word for Todd. Todd is the comedic relief player. He is the one that, he doesn't really know what's going on. He doesn't know the days that he's won competitions on. He's playing the game that he thinks he's supposed to play. He doesn't know the show. So he kind of just asks everybody, what am I doing? Where do I go? And, that's just Todd. He is 100% his authentic self. And I know that he is. But, he's playing a silly game. I'll say he's playing a silly game.
Tola.
Tola is playing a very strategic, smart game. I have to give him props as a super fan. He's playing a really good game. As much as he gets under my skin, he's playing a really good game. I have to give him props. Good social game. He's a great competitor. I have to give him the respect there.
And we'll finish off with Victoria.
Spice, she, as well as Bailey, is playing, a 100% authentic game. She is, she's just being herself. She's trying her best at every competition. I do have a feeling she threw that last POV with the stars, but at the end of the day, I have to respect that she's playing for herself. I'm playing for myself. Yes, we're working together, but at the end of the day, she does have to do what's best for her. I do have to respect that. She's playing just like she did in her season. She's playing her authentic self, just like Bailey is.
How would you rank the remaining players based on how likely you would be to vote for them?
I think I would have to go Spicy, Bailey, Tola, Anthony, Lexus, Todd.
Who do you feel the most betrayed by?
I feel the most betrayed by Anthony and Lexus. I feel like when it comes down to loyalty, I really had their back on my HOHs. Seeing myself up on the block and seeing their hesitancy in order to keep me in the game was really heartbreaking. I thought that they would have my back all the way to the end, like we talked about. I never once put them up on the block or risked their game at all. I always had their back 100%. And just, seeing that loyalty didn't go both ways was definitely heartbreaking.
What is your biggest regret?
My biggest regret is definitely putting Kayla up on that block. Looking back, I do think that she did have my back. I think Anthony and Lexus bent the information a little more to make me believe that she was coming after me. I don't think that she was. I think that it was in the back of her mind. She might have mentioned it, but like she said, she never mentioned my name completely. I feel like if I had the opportunity to go back and put a pawn up someone like Lexus next to Tola, maybe we could have gotten Tola out. But yeah, that's something that I do regret. I do regret putting Kayla up on that block.
Who did you want to go to the final two with?
I wanted to go to final two with my girl Spicy. We had a final two since night one. I know that she was going to have my back 100%. She did have my back all the way to the end, even knowing that I was going home. She still gave me that one vote to make sure that I didn't go out on a unanimous vote. She told me that I was the best player in the house, and it means a lot coming from someone who's played the game before. She told me that if I brought her to final two, that she was gonna vouch for me all the way to the end. She is 100% her authentic self. I know people haven't ever met her in real life before, but I'm telling you, she is just as crazy and fun as she is inside the house as she is out. Can't wait to see her on the outside. Spicy, I love you, girl. Having hotties to the end.
Who will you stay in touch with after the game?
Ooh, I'll probably stay in touch with, as many people as I can. I feel like when it comes to like a top 5, I'd have to say Spicy 100%. We're going to be friends for a really long time. Bailey, we got really close near the end there. I feel like we're going to be friends for a long time as well. Kayla's my girl. I know that we're going to be friends for a really long time. I feel like we might have a little group chat going. And Anthony, at the end of the day, I know that he, didn't have my back, but he truly was, no pun intended, my big brother in the house. He was the big brother that I never had. He always called me his little sister. I love that guy. I know that he's going to have my back out in the real world for sure. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I know that I'll keep in touch with the other house guests here and there, but when it comes to those 4, Lexus included, we all got along really well. I feel like we're all going to be really good friends for the rest of our lives.
Who do you think will be the next person to be evicted and join you in the jury house?
I feel like, I want to say that it's going to be Tola. If he doesn't win that POV, he is in danger of going home. But if it's not Tola, I think it's going to be Todd. People really want him out of that house. He doesn't know the game very well. And, when you're in that house and you're fighting for your life, you're a big fan of the show, you want people out of that house who don't know the game. I'm really hoping to see either one of those two so I can tell them I told you so. But yeah, at the end of the day, the jury house is going to be fun. I can't wait to see who walks through the door next.
And last question, who do you want to win and who do you think will win?
The person that I want to win is Spicy. Like I said, she's my number 1. I would love to see her in that final 2 and see her pull out a win. Who do I think will win? If we're just coming down to those last 6, I have to say Tola. He is playing a really good social game. He's a great competitor. You know, like I said before, as much as he gets under my skin, as much as he annoys me, he is a really good player. I have to respect that as a super fan.
All right, Avery, I know you have a lot of interviews to get to today, so thanks for making the time to chat with me.
Thank you so much, Josh.